Welcome back to your Mercedes-Benz Devils postgame show where New Jersey earns the big-time 3-2 win over Carolina in double overtime here in Game 3 of this series. And like we've mentioned, tonight's game was the longest game to ever be played here inside the Prudential Center. Nearly an hour, and is that right? An hour and 23 minutes? In double overtime. The other two games come in 2012, the Eastern Conference semifinals. Game 3 versus Philadelphia, and of course the Stanley Cup Finals versus LA. So these guys really had to work tonight to get the job done. But nonetheless, they're able to make it 2-1 in this series, and they're going to be back here in no time for Game 4. Joining me now out in the hallway is Bryce Salvador. Sal, what a game, what a finish. What was that booth like? I know you talked about.
I'll tell you in a second here, but let's get the hero of the game in here immediately. Well, Shimon, just what's going through your mind right now? What a moment for you.
Well, I don't really know. It's like the dream, yeah, like overtime in the playoffs, overtime winner goal. So, yeah, I just feel really good.
Well, I can only imagine, and just the way this game was going, you know, you yourself, your play, just really getting more confident. I saw you starting to jump up into the play more in the second and third period. Just, you know, what's kind of been going through the process of you since Game 2, now Game 3, just with the more ice time you've been getting?
Yeah, I just feel better each period. So, and I had a couple of chances in first overtime. So, yeah, I just felt good, and this is my game. I have to jump to the play, but I think my defense was also pretty good tonight. So.
You were definitely the rookie defenseman on the back end. How much, as this game continued to tick on, did you lean on those veteran players like Brett Pesce, Brian Dumoulin to kind of help you navigate the emotions of a overtime and double overtime?
Yeah, I mean, they had a tough game. Sigenthal and Dumoulin, they play a lot. We were just 5 guys, so yeah, I mean, we just try play our game, and yeah, we won, and that's important.
You guys definitely had the onus of that first overtime, out shooting Carolina 8-2. So when you were going back into the locker room, getting ready for that second overtime, what was kind of the mentality and what was the message going out there for another 20?
I just felt like in the locker room, like we're not gonna lose this game, and so I think we were all over them like in the first overtime. So yeah, we played great game, and yeah, big win for us.
I'm sure you have a lot of hockey memories that you've reflected on in your career. I gotta imagine this one ranks the top, huh?
Yeah, this is for sure biggest. It will be biggest memory. Like now it's reality, but it will be in a couple of years for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Shimon. Congratulations on the big win here tonight.
Great job.
Simon Nemec with the game winner in double overtime to secure the 3-2 win over Carolina.
We welcome you back to the Mercedes-Benz Devils postgame. New Jersey 3-2 double overtime winners, and they win here on tonight's winning moment, brought to you by FanDuel Casino, where the #1 feeling winning is happening all the time. Simon Nemec had a heck of a game. It starts with that big Dowling hit, and then Dano Nemec gets on the puck here, and the youngster scores his first overtime goal.
Showing a lot of confidence as he picks that puck up in the neutral zone. He makes a beautiful move around Gostisbehere, and just a quick snapshot, and especially in overtime, Corey, I would think for any team, you want to shoot a lot because there's a lot more pressure. Goalies get fatigued as well. Makes a great play. Love that line, though. Tatar, Dowling, Bastian doing what they have to do, shift in, shift out, and that's be physical. Let's create a forecheck. There's that move again. Beautiful play, and Anderson gets a piece of it, just not enough.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Dano. I was talking in the intermission with Sal and Rachel, how this time in the game as a goaltender, your mental focus can wane, and that's when pucks start to go through you. You might be loose on your post, and a cheap one gets in, and Anderson was great all night, but like you said, Nemec just made a quick shot, beat him through the arm, and I like how he recognized the line change. He was able to attack, and as Carolina was coming back in the zone, they weren't able to get their whole structure there, and he just walked Gothisbehere, as you said, so a lot of confidence from the young defenseman.
Let's dig in on Nemec's game a little bit more. Again, he had been a healthy scratch a lot down the stretch in the season, wasn't in the Game 1 lineup. The injuries lead to him coming in Game 2. He played pretty well in that game, and then tonight plays more than 20 minutes. Dano, I think this is maybe the most confident, assertive game we've seen from him, at least this year for sure, and maybe even going back to last year.
Absolutely. When the stakes are at the highest come playoff time and there's more pressure, you're scrutinized more you find out a lot about players, in particular young players. And Nemec has been able to raise his level of play, his intensity. He's not as lackadaisical as at times where we thought he had to be more assertive. But defensively, he was strong along the wall. I mean, just the little things like knocking his opponent off the puck, sealing guys off, and then the great play showing that he can be a really good two-way defenseman in this league. But all young guys have to go through it, and they don't see it at the time. He was frustrated. I understand, everybody wants to play, but sometimes these learning curves are necessary, and it's good for you. But I know when I was a young defenseman, Corey, and I sat a few times, yeah, I wanted to kill everybody. But when you reflect down the road, you're going, no, this is part of it, and this is part of how I develop. And certainly it's one game. It's one game, but it was a very important game. And he was the hero in overtime here, where the Devils deserved this game. Everybody was invested, I thought, from top to bottom, from Markey out, played an excellent game.
And Corey, I want to dig into that even a little bit more as we now turn forward to Game 4. As Dan was talking about the confidence he built, the way that New Jersey's played here. I mean, you look back at the last two games, I think you could say Game 2, pretty even 5-on-5. Game 3, 5-on-5, the Devils were the better team. Carolina got the 2 power play goals, but in regulation, particularly in overtime, the Devils carried the game 5-on-5.
Yeah, I thought their 5-on-5 game was outstanding. You saw glimpses of in Game 2, a game that they could have easily had as well. They had some chances at the end to tie it, but didn't come away with that. So I think, as you said, Markstrom, they can clean things up on the penalty kill, the Devils forwards, but he's been great 5-on-5 to me, and that's the key time in the playoffs. And I think they maybe showed some cracks in Carolina tonight. That Carolina was not as assertive, they were not as hungry. The Devils were able to get the zone and create more chances than they had in the first 2 games. So I think that's got to bode well for them and their confidence that, hey, if we stick to this script and this game plan, we can expose this team and get some chances. Freddie Anderson had to be tremendous, otherwise it could have been 5-2 before overtime. So I think it's a great sign for the Devils' kind of quick turnaround Sunday afternoon for Game 4 at their building.
All right, we're looking forward to it. That game starts at 3:30 with the pregame at 3 o'clock on MSGSN.